Limerence, often described as an intense, involuntary emotional state where a person feels infatuated with another, has intrigued psychologists and neuroscientists alike. Here's the neuroscience behind limerence. Neurotransmitters and hormones. Dopamine, central to the experience of limerence. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter associated with reward and pleasure. During limerence, dopamine levels increase, leading to heightened feelings of euphoria and motivation to seek out the person of interest. Norepinephrine, this neurotransmitter is linked to arousal and alertness. High levels of norepinephrine can contribute to the obsessive thoughts and heightened emotional responses characteristic of limerence. Serotonin. Limerence often involves low levels of serotonin, which may contribute to the obsessive and preoccupying nature of the infatuation. Serotonin is typically associated with mood regulation, and its imbalance can lead to the obsessive thinking observed in limerence. Oxytocin and vasopressin, these hormones are linked to bonding and attachment. Oxytocin, in particular, is associated with feelings of love and connection, and its release can enhance emotional closeness and attachment during limerence. Brain regions involved. Ventral tegmental area, VTA. This area of the brain is involved in the reward system, and is heavily engaged during the experience of limerence. It plays a crucial role in the release of dopamine, which reinforces the pleasure derived from thinking about the person of interest. Caudate nucleus. The caudate nucleus is part of the brain's reward system, and is involved in the processing of reward-related stimuli. It is activated during limerence, contributing to the feeling of pleasure and the desire to seek out the object of one's affection. Anterior cingulate cortex, ACC. The ACC is involved in regulating emotions and processing social information. During limerence, increased activity in the ACC can contribute to the intense emotional responses and preoccupation with the person of interest. Insula. The insula is associated with self-awareness and emotional processing. Its activation during limerence can contribute to the heightened emotional experiences and the focus on the person of interest. Cognitive and emotional aspects. Obsessive thinking. The combination of high dopamine and low serotonin can lead to obsessive thinking patterns. The person experiencing limerence might constantly think about the object of their infatuation, often interpreting ambiguous signals as positive. Idealization. Individuals in a state of limerence may idealize the person they are infatuated with, often overlooking flaws and focusing solely on positive attributes. This idealization can be driven by the brain's reward system, which reinforces positive perceptions. Emotional roller coaster. The interplay of various neurotransmitters and brain regions can create a roller coaster of emotions. The excitement of potential reciprocation can be followed by feelings of anxiety and disappointment if the feelings are not returned. Developmental and evolutionary perspectives. Attachment theory. Limerence can be understood through the lens of attachment theory, which suggests that early attachment experiences influence how individuals form and maintain romantic relationships. Those with anxious attachment styles may be more prone to experiencing limerence. Evolutionary perspective. From an evolutionary standpoint, limerence may have developed as a mechanism to increase reproductive success by enhancing mate selection and bonding. The intense focus and emotional investment could have historically increased the likelihood of forming lasting pair bonds. Limerence involves a complex interplay of neurotransmitters, hormones, and brain regions that together create an intense and often overwhelming emotional experience. Understanding these mechanisms can offer insights into the nature of romantic attraction and attachment. Dealing with limerence can be challenging, but there are strategies that may help manage or alleviate its effects. Here are some approaches to consider. Self-awareness and reflection. Recognize the symptoms. Understanding that what you're experiencing is limerence can be the first step toward managing it. Awareness of the condition can help you detach from obsessive thoughts and emotional highs and lows. Reflect on your feelings. Consider journaling or talking to a therapist about your feelings. Reflecting on why you're feeling this way and what needs might be underlying your limerence can provide insights and help you gain perspective. Cognitive behavioral strategies. Challenge obsessive thoughts. Use cognitive behavioral techniques to challenge and reframe obsessive thoughts. For example, if you're constantly thinking about the person, remind yourself of the reality of the situation and focus on evidence that contradicts your idealization. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness and meditation can help you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings without getting overwhelmed by them. Mindfulness practices can also help you stay grounded and reduce the intensity of obsessive thinking. Focus on personal growth. Pursue interests and hobbies. Engaging in activities that you enjoy and that are meaningful to you can help shift your focus away from the object of your infatuation and provide a sense of fulfillment and purpose. Develop self-esteem. Work on building your self-esteem and self-worth independently of the relationship or infatuation. This can help reduce dependency on the other person for validation and emotional stability. Limit contact. Create distance. If possible, limit contact with the person you are infatuated with. This can help reduce the intensity of your feelings and give you space to gain perspective and focus on your own well-being. Set boundaries. Establish clear boundaries for yourself regarding how much you allow yourself to think or talk about the person. Creating physical and emotional distance can help manage the intensity of your feelings. Seek professional help. Therapy. Working with a therapist, particularly one trained in cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, or other therapeutic approaches, can be highly beneficial. A therapist can help you address underlying issues and develop strategies for managing limerence. Support groups. Joining a support group where you can share your experiences and hear from others who have faced similar challenges can provide emotional support and practical advice. Reevaluate the relationship. Assess the reality. Take a step back and assess the relationship or the person you are infatuated with. Consider whether the relationship is realistic and whether it aligns with your long-term goals and values. Focus on compatibility. Reflect on whether the person you are infatuated with is truly compatible with you and if there are mutual feelings. Sometimes, the idealization and obsession can cloud your judgment about the reality of the relationship. Build healthy relationships. Foster new connections. Build and nurture healthy relationships with friends and family. Positive social connections can provide emotional support and help you move on from limerence. Engage in social activities. Participating in social activities and meeting new people can help you shift your focus and potentially develop new, fulfilling relationships. Managing limerence often involves a combination of these strategies. It's important to be patient with yourself and recognize that it may take time to shift your focus and emotional state.